was at Ulta today. They were having a sale on a lot of tools like brushes, sponges, stuff like that, Q-tips, like stuff like this. So they were having a buy one get one free on this. Now I've only ever used the original Beauty Blender, which I have here. You can tell mine's like very well used. I have to replace it soon actually. So I'm like, well, buy one get one free, $6. Can't really beat it too much. So, and I've heard a lot of good things, that it's a really good dupe. So I do have 2 of them here. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't like it. I'm thinking I could just kind of like use one like strictly for my kit and one for me. That's a great idea if I do end up liking it. If not, I'll give it to like my sister or like something, you know, somebody. I'll get some use out of it. So I want to do a comparison video. I'm like, this is cool. I have an excuse to shoot a video. Like, I haven't done a video in a while. I have been very busy. So why not? I have my little tub of water that I just got from the bathroom right here. And since my room is not anywhere near the bathroom, I always take this like little tub of water with me. And basically like how it's gonna work, I'm gonna apply like 1/2 with like the Real Technique sponge and 1/2 with my regular Beauty Blender. And if this really is a really good dupe for it, then I won't have to restock my Beauty Blender, which is great. Because $20 for a sponge, even I could like admit that that's like a little bit excessive. So I just took it out of the little packaging. It feels very, very similar. I'm liking this little contour here. From what I've seen, when I've seen people use it really helps really blend in like under eye concealer and stuff like that. Beauty Blender is good, but it's not small enough to really get really up close to the waterline and really blend it out nicely. They do make a smaller one, but that is also $20. So I'm trying to look at it from a standpoint of like saving cost here. So feel wise, they're about the same. This is a little bit foamier, and they're both have that foam feel. This is just like a little bit softer. I don't know if that's just from it being used. And this one is a little bit more firm, but that's not an immediate rule out right away. So at what I would call like full growth, this is pretty much what they look like. Very, very similar. Now that this has been wet, I definitely feel like it's very, very similar to the Beauty Blender. And I'm using the Bare Minerals Serum Concealer. And I really, really like this concealer. I have it in the shade lighter than my skin tone. I believe it's the shade Fair. I'm not sure. This is covered up by Sephora sticker. So this side is going to be the Real Techniques, and this side is going to be the Beauty Blender. And I'm just using this to kind of like, I'm using it very spottedly, like dots, only because it is very, very pigmented and you don't want to go in with like a lot of it at once. And we're going to test this out now. Okay, so in terms of feel on the face, it feels very, very similar to the Beauty Blender. And it's dispersing the product relatively nicely, I'd say. So, this side was with Real Technique sponge. Now, I've been using the Beauty Blender for about 2 or 3 years now, so pretty much like a long time for any makeup product. Usually like makeup products tend to be very disposable, especially in today's world of like ever-changing like trends and stuff like that. So for me to use a product for a couple of years at a time is really a big deal. So this is the Beauty Blender side, this is the Real Technique side. So far, it's pretty comparable. I'm not going to say I noticed a significant difference yet. I'm not going to say one is better than the other yet. We're going to go into the foundation for that part. Like I said, we're just going to go in with my Kat Von D Lock It foundation, and I am in the shade medium 52 for anybody who cares. Most of you don't, but for anybody who cares. It's going to take, I only use like one pump of this for my full face. This stuff is very, very pigmented. She did not fuck around when she made this foundation. I've been using it for about 4 or 5 years now. Not 4 or 5 years. A couple of years, like 2 or 3. And I just dot it around my face evenly. So now that I've dotted it around where I feel I need it, I'm going to use this little guy. And I'm going to use it pretty much as it's described, so I'm going to use the side this time. You know what? I actually like it pretty much so far. I'm actually like pretty much liking the way it feels. I'm liking how it's, you know, blending the product in nicely. Gonna get it right there. You know, it does feel very soft. It does not feel rough or hard like a lot of the other drugstore, you know, definitely. So far for foundation, I'm pretty much done already. That's pretty much it. So now I am just gonna go in right away and just do the Beauty Blender side. Beep. Pretty much, if I were to compare this to a brand new Beauty Blender that you had just gotten, like literally that day, you would not notice a difference. Honestly, it's a very soft sponge. It feels nice when you're kind of tapping your face with it. I really like this contour here because it really does get up into that inner corner of your eye and really helps blend everything out a little bit better. Decided to do cream contouring and highlighting. I do use the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. A million times better than that powder one. I fucking hate it. And they blend beautifully with a Beauty Blender. They're thicker than a liquid concealer, so we're really going to test out how this thing blends. So I'm just apply this like I would apply and these creams are so creamy. They're so blendable. I'm obsessed. I'm also going to still only do one side at a time so you could get the real like side-by-side comparison. Now let's go in. Because this is the dark palette, I have to stick with this light one. I got this for my kit, so that's why it is the dark one. And when I do my contour, I do it literally like on my cheekbone just because mine are so low. I like to give them that little lift. I'm going to be doing a video on how I contour and highlight next. That's right next on my list, so hold off for it. Just get this area here. This is in no way a tutorial on contouring and highlighting. This is just me throwing it right on. So now we're going to, now that I look like a zebra, we're going to blend. What I like about this flatter part of it is that you can really go like this, blend these two together without much effort. I still did have to move it a little bit, but it's not a make or break kind of thing. So I did like that. And it's blending them very, very nicely. I must say it is blending them quite good. Quite good. So I'm just gonna fast forward to where I have this part mapped out and I'm gonna do the Beauty Blender side. I've got to say, honestly, is this a really good dupe? Yes, I'm very impressed with it. It feels amazing, blends beautifully. I love the contour on it because, again, if you're doing cream contouring like I just did, it's really good for just laying right there and blending it nicely, and you're keeping that nice straight contour. You know, it's more defined, whereas this one, you've got to kind of like play with it a little bit. It makes it look a little bit, I call it cloudy, because if you could see, it kind of like blends weird. And how I've like fixed that in the past was I've always just gone in like with a powder over it, just like blended the fuck out of it, and just made it appear to still be, you know, this sharp, but it was just another step I had to do. So I like that this kind of like helps give me that right away. I would, however, still recommend getting the blender cleanser, only because using regular brush cleanser on it is not good for it. It's going to tear it. It's going to make it wear out twice as fast. So I would recommend getting that Beauty Blender cleanser still. So $6 on this. I believe the blender is like 15 or 20, maybe even cheaper than that. You can go to Sephora and get the little brick one for like 6. So like $12 for this and a cleanser. I would recommend doing that if you don't want to spend the 20 on the Beauty Blender. And I'm actually happy that I did buy the second one now, because I could put it in my kit. I could justifiably put it in my kit. So I'm really happy about that. Go to Ulta, like literally, I don't know how long the sale is going for, but go this week and pick 2 of these up. And yeah, definitely check back soon. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this will be up by this weekend. I'm recording this on the... what day is that? On some day early January. I believe it's like the 8th or 9th or something. So check back soon. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Bye.